always thought that the best politics is doing the best job you can do, and there's a lot that Democrats can talk about in this upcoming midterms. I'm well aware that midterms are obviously always difficult for the party in power, but we've got a great story to tell, and we need to get out there and do a better job of telling it.
What great story? Just asking for a friend. With midterms just months away, Hillary Clinton is sharing advice for Democrats on their messaging, as recent polls reveal Republicans are edging ahead of Democrats on who voters want in charge of Congress. As you can see right there, an NBC poll from a couple of weeks ago. Fox News contributor and former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, is here to react. Newt, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay, but I'm wondering what Hillary Clinton's talking about. She says the Democrats have a great story. You know, I filled up half a tank of gas yesterday, and it was $65. I don't know what good story she's talking about.
Well, you know, if you'd only spend $80,000 for an electric car, you would be saving some money on gasoline.
Yeah,
of course, you'd be spending money on electricity.
Right.
You know, look, the Democrats have a huge problem. Almost every one of their policies is unpopular, and the ones that aren't unpopular are failing. So they don't want to admit they've got to change policies because that'll make their left unhappy. And so they say, gee, this is, you know, it's really a messaging problem that I can't convince you that it's great that the price of food is going up, the price of gasoline is going up, that the president looks weak and silly overseas, that the vice president may be the dumbest person ever elected to that office, that focusing the Border Patrol and learning the correct pronouns, which is one of their most recent efforts, rather than stopping illegal immigration, is somehow a clever idea. Just go down the list.
Yeah.
They can't give up any of these things. You know, they can't come out and say we love oil and gas. So they continue to attack the American oil and gas industry, and then they're shocked that the price of oil goes up.
Yeah.
I think this is an administration maybe more out of touch with reality than any administration in modern history.
Well, her husband, who was elected president, unlike her, she lost twice. Bill Clinton, worked with you when you were Speaker of the House and you got some stuff done. According to her, the average American, I don't know which average American she's talking to, but the average American does not want a Republican-led government. What do you say to that?
Well, there's a brand new poll out in Britain that the Democracy Institute released that shows that 52% of Americans think it would be better to have Biden leave than Putin. 43% favor getting Putin out. Now, yeah, it's a new poll, and it's in a British newspaper, and they said, you know, who do you think will be better for America's future? Get rid of Putin or get rid of Biden? And by 52 to 43, they picked getting rid of Biden over getting rid of Putin. Now, that gives you some hint that maybe the Biden administration is not convincing people it's doing a good job. Remember, Bill Clinton had to fight the left. I mean, Bill Clinton had to sign welfare reform. He had to sign the biggest capital gains tax cut in history. He had to sign 4 consecutive balanced budgets. So the way he survived is he said, oh, the American people don't want this left-wing stuff. I'm with the American people. And that's part of why the left has always hated him, because they saw him as having sold them out rather than fought for them. And I think Biden is trapped because he doesn't want his allies on the left mad at him, and the rest of the country thinks his allies are nuts.
Well, there you go. Newt, thank you very much for joining us on this Monday morning.
Good. Good talk to you.
Good talk.